Good evening. I'm very happy to see each one of you who are here tonight. It's a very hard time to schedule a concert, but this is a very important part of not only the semester for the university singers, but especially the semester's training for our student conducting class. This semester at HBU, we have the largest conducting class I believe we've ever had. We have 18 conductors in all, and they're divided into 3 different groups who are doing public performance conducting at the end of this semester. So 6 of them will conduct for you tonight. So it feels funny to me to be still dressed in my street clothes rather than my tuxedo, but I'm not conducting anything tonight. Rather, I'm going to enjoy watching our student conductors just as you are. To give you an idea of what that's like, everybody raise your right hand out in front of you, not up high, but in front of you. Now move it from side to side at an exact speed. Now don't vary the speed for the next 3 minutes. That's just the beginning of what it's like to learn to be a conductor. And that's just your right hand. Then your left hand, while you're not varying the speed of this hand has to just randomly point, so, and at the right time, hopefully. And so it's quite a process to train your gesture to reflect what the music needs to communicate, and to learn to read the score more effectively, and to assume the leadership of a group. So I'm very, very proud of these 6 students that you will hear from tonight. You will see immediately that they've worked very, very hard to prepare to conduct these pieces. These are 6 of the pieces from this coming Friday night's Christmas at HBU concert. Our combined choirs and the Houston Civic Symphony will perform a longer Christmas concert this Friday night that we hope everyone will have the time to come back and enjoy. It's at 7:30 on Friday night across the hall in Dunham Theater. So I hope you can join us for that evening as well. So let me ask our choir, would you please stand and come to the risers? And as they're getting in place, I will just introduce these conductors. First, we'll have Casey Poland. Casey graduates this semester, so we're very glad to get to enjoy her performance before commencement in a couple of weeks. Sarah Ringer will be next. Sarah's a senior piano performance major. Shelley Mers is next. Shelley, are you a junior or a senior?
Senior.
She's a senior. And a music education major. She's going to one day be a great high school choral teacher, and that career path will reach a significant milestone tonight with her first time conducting in public. Let me just say a word about the middle of tonight's program as Casey gets set for the first piece. A couple of weeks ago at Baylor University was an event that is called Texoma Gnats. That's not a reflection of the number of insects at Baylor. Rather, NATS stands for National Association of Teachers of Singing. It's the professional organization for all voice teachers, whether they teach high school students, college students, teach a voice studio in the community, teach graduate students. They have a professional meeting at which all of those teachers sit behind desks and all of their students come and sing for the other teachers. They are rated, and if they reach semifinals, that's a very, very big deal because there are maybe 1,000 singers, several hundred at least in the beginning. Then they narrow down to only a few semifinalists in each year, like freshman women, sophomore women, or men. Then, of course, they go on to finals and name finalists. For a small school like HBU, you might think it's utterly impossible to go to the same competition as Baylor, UT, all the other large schools of music, and reach any of those final stages. But in fact, out of the 20 students from HBU who competed, 5 of them reached semifinals, probably a higher percentage than might have reached the final stage from any of the larger schools. We're very, very proud of that. So in addition to our student conductors tonight, I've invited the four of those students who were available tonight to give you a performance of one of their award-winning pieces from NATS. So when you see Texoma NATS semifinalists in the middle of the program, that's what that is. When they come to the stage, they'll tell you the name of the piece that they're going to sing. Would you please join me now in welcoming University Singers and our first student conductor, Casey Poland.
Emmanuel,
you guys can come on down to your seats. Thanks to Kelly, Sarah, and Shelley for good jobs on those first three pieces. And now we'll go to our soloists for these next four arias. Each of them will tell you what they're singing, and then we'll move on to the last part of the program, and I'll introduce those conductors to you when it's time for them to come. So let's begin with Robin. Before we continue, let's take a moment to thank our wonderful accompanist tonight, Ben Sieben. We appreciate him so much. Ben is an HBU alum who then went to graduate school for not one but two master's degrees in piano performance and in collaborative piano. And when he came back to Houston about a year ago, we were eager to get him involved at HBU again. He began by accompanying a few of our instrumentalists' private lessons, now has continued to grow in his job description and is teaching adjunct courses in class piano and music appreciation, accompanying our instrumentalists and accompanying for university singers. So we appreciate very much all the contributions he makes to HBU. Let me invite the choir to stand and come back up, and let me introduce to you our final three conductors. Diana Gulski is coming to conduct the first piece, Jesus Christ the Morning Star. Diana is a senior and one of those wonderful students we are fortunate to have at HBU who is returning to school after years spent raising family and, in her case, helping with her family's business, and she makes a great contribution to our student body. After Diana, Angel Oriana comes to conduct the very familiar Coventry Carol, a 14th century carol from England. And finally, Bastien Millot will conduct Carol of the Holy Family to conclude tonight's concert. Thank you so very much for coming tonight. Let me just remind you once again that Friday night we'll have Christmas at HBU with the Houston Civic Symphony and the combined choirs of HBU. On Monday night we will have our opera workshop fall production. It will also be on the stage of Dunham Theater, also at 7:30, also free, and you'll get to hear many of our fine vocalists. On Friday night of next week, our voice program director and one of our voice teachers, Dr. Kirkwood, will be giving a faculty recital. It's that time of year. There's something for you almost every night, so we hope you'll come and visit with us several times over the next couple of weeks. So now I'll turn it over to our final three student conductors. Diana.